everybody. I thought we would break with the traditional Halloween and fall bows in this one and just do something simple. This is not a new bow, but we're just going to work a little more with feathers on this one. And so just to kind of show you, this is the pink one, just made out of 1.5" grosgrain ribbon, and I have put the rhinestones on it. Okay, and it has the ostrich puff in the middle. Sometimes if you just take a simple bow to just jazz it up or whatever, you know, you can just add feathers and jewels and that kind of thing, and it really makes a difference. Okay, so that's a pink one. And then I just have this simple orange one here. This has the regular marabou feathers on, and I've also put just a knot in the center of it. Okay, that's another option. And then I have the white one here, which for the center of this one we're actually going to add some rhinestones. Okay, because that's another option. I didn't put rhinestones on the loops or anything on this one, but I'm going to do that on the one we're going to make. Alright, so these are a couple of options. So what you need to make one of these bows, I'm using the 1.5" grosgrain ribbon. Y'all, I'm sorry, my goodness, I keep having to clear my throat. You need 1 yard or 36 inches of the grosgrain, and we're just going to make the, you know, regular twisted boutique bow. And then you need the corresponding either marabou or the ostrich feathers to match. Okay, and then, you know, just your clip or barrette or whatever. And then you need to just choose, you know, what center you're going to use. And then when we make the red bow, I'll you know, just kind of do the rhinestoning. I've done a video on it before, but what the heck. And then, you know, you could actually just have a whole little collection of these and use whatever color you want. It really does dress an outfit up, you know, rather than just have a plain solid bow. You know, you could put feathers and sparkles, and it really does make a difference, I think. Okay, so first what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the rhinestone center for the middle of this one. Basically, it's just a sticky sticker. You know, I got a whole sheet of this at Hobby Lobby. They may have something like that at Walmart or whatever, or you can get the rhinestone mesh and cut a piece off. Okay, and what I did, I know it's probably really hard to see, I put a piece of 3/8 grosgrain around the center already, just to kind of have a place to put the rhinestone strip. Okay, so I may not quite need this much, but anyway, I'm going to take that off. And I'm actually going to start in the back. Okay, and I'm going to start at the edge of my clip, my hardware. And even though it's sticky, I still recommend gluing at each end, just in case the sticky part comes up. Okay. And then as you go around the center, just do your best to get the feathers out of the way and pull everything, you know, away. That's kind of a difficult part. Probably a better thing is to go ahead and line the piece of 3/8 ribbon first with your rhinestones and then feed it around. Okay, but Anyway, you know me, I do things the hard way sometimes. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut off that excess there. And just put a little bit of glue. You know, and that's just one option for a center. Okay, and then just fluff your feathers. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but very fancy. Okay, so we'll set that one to the side. Now, we're going to make one from head to toe. I also have my wood burning tool. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do, and I'm actually making a lot of my bows just a little bit different method. If you watched the video on how I showed you guys a little bit different way of tucking the ribbon to make the backing ribbon more visible, that's the way I pretty much make them now. It's just really one step difference, and you kind of see both of the tails instead of having that top tail tucked. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to take my wood burning tool and cut that angle, but then I'm going to turn it over like this. Alright, I'm going to start my first loop, and then you can see I've kind of got a longer tail up here. In the past I really haven't done that a whole lot, and you can see it in this pink bow. You see that tail kind of sticking up right there, and that's just a preference. You don't have to do that. Besides your thread, besides your ribbon, of course you're going to need your needle and thread, your scissors, glue gun, your clip. I'm also using the rhinestones and the rhinestoning pencil, and I'll leave the link, on where to get that. Okay, so anyway, I'll start again. You don't have to do it this way, but I've got my angle cut there. And then I'm going to come up here and have a little bit, like an inch or inch and a half tail. Alright. And then I've got a second loop, and I do like to get an alligator clip. If you like to use one to kind of hold the middle, you can do that. Alright, now this is where the difference comes in. Most of the time I would tell you to tuck it back here, which you could still do that. But I find that, this tail doesn't tend to get in the way, and if you like the tail, it's easier just to tuck it in front. Okay, and I really like the way it looks. Alright, and then just your fourth loop, and you see how that looks in the back. I don't know if you can see that real well. Here, let me do it like that. It's just the tail's kind of hanging out right there. Okay. And I kind of messed it up a little bit, so let me do that. Okay, and then I'm just going to get my alligator clip. By the way, I am offering these salon clips for sale, and the stands for sale also. I think I talked a little bit about it in my last video, but if you would like to purchase one, contact me on Facebook. or you can email me or whatever. It's easy. Facebook is easier though. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure my measurements are all right. That looks good. So then I'm going to get my needle and thread, upholstery thread, then I take my clip off and crease the center. I'm just wrapping the thread around my center. And then I'm just going to tie it off back here. And there we go. Okay. Now, it's totally up to you if you want to put your feathers on first, or if you want a rhinestone first. I think I may just rhinestone it real quick and before I put the feathers on. So one thing I do need to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my alligator clip on so that I can use my stand. Now, if you would like to rhinestone, and I am totally ignorant this moment of what size these little rhinestones are, because I don't have the little front of the package anymore, but I'm not sure. I got them from Walmart. They came in a little package from Walmart, so if you have a craft section there, you know, it's the smaller ones. And then of course the pencil comes from rockinresin.com, and I can leave a link for that. It's I believe it's called a rhinestoning pencil. Okay, and then to be able to rhinestone, I would suggest getting this Eileen's Jewel-It, and I've used this in the past. I mean, you can use hot glue, but it tends to come out in big globs, and you have strings, and then it bubbles up, and it's just not real efficient. Okay, so, and I think that you don't want to over rhinestone. Okay, you're not going to do the front here because your feathers are going to be there. Okay, one thing I did forget to do, let me do this real quick. My tail, I want to go ahead and get my wood burning tool and just create my tail there. Okay. Alright, so then I've got my tail. You know, and with fall and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the holidays coming up, you know, these make just perfect little bows that can dress up any outfit or whatever, and you know, they're fairly easy to make. Okay, so what I do is I'm just going to, I'm really not going to add a whole lot. It's up to you how many, you know, you want to add. But like I say, you don't want to put a whole bunch and then make it look like tacky, like over bedazzled or something, you know. But basically then the pencil, you just tap it on top of the rhinestone, and there you go. And I have another video where I did this to a bigger bow, just a plain solid color bow. Okay, so, and you just, you know, you take your glue like I did, and just make very small pattern glue dots, however you want your pattern to go. And then you tap them on. I mean, this little pencil is just invaluable for this. It's very hard to do it otherwise. And like my fingers don't work well, so to pick it up with my fingers wouldn't work real well at all. Let's see. I hate it when my rhinestones are turned the wrong way. Okay, so, you know, that's what I did on the top. And I think for the bottom, I'm just going to put 3 on my tail. Not the bottom, but on my tail. But you really, you know, that's up to you. You know, it just depends, I guess, on how much, you know, the feathers are gonna cover it. Anyway, you get the idea. And I'll go back in a minute and do the sides. I don't want to, you know, I don't want y'all to have to sit here and watch me do this. Okay, so then basically all you have then is to put your feathers. Now, where do I get my feathers? The marabou and my ostrich. They sell both of these at hairbowcenter.com. Very reasonable prices because these ostrich feathers especially are very expensive. Okay, and their prices are very reasonable. And you know, they just come on a you know, a rope, a big long rope. So check them out if you want to get some feathers at a, you know, very good price. Alright, so all I'm going to do here, well, you just want to cut to measure, you know, and just kind of see where you want to put it. And then once you get your feathers in, you just want to decide, you know, which kind of center you want. And all I do is just kind of poke that in there. Now, if you use the ostrich feathers, really you don't need a knot or anything in the center because you want the little curlies to show. Okay, but with marabou, you know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it looks cute just like that. But I'm a big fan of the knots in the center, so I'm going to center my knot. This is a 5/8 piece of red. And you got to be careful with the rhinestones. That's why it may be better just to rhinestone last. Okay. And you see I've got my knot in the center there. So then I'm going to turn it around. And I'll get my wood burning tool to heat seal. Okay, and that's it for that one. And you can add a shiny knot in the middle if, you know, you don't want a plain one like that. But again, you know, just simplicity sometimes is the best option. Okay, so I'm just going to let those rhinestones dry, and I'll probably add a few to the bottom loops. Okay. And the only other thing I kind of wanted to show you is the ostrich puff method, you know, as opposed to the marabou. Let's see, let me get, I'm going to get a piece of 3/8 brown ribbon. And again, you know, I've got my little tail right there. I kind of like the little tail sticking up. I mean, well, it depends on what kind of bow it is. Okay, so I'm just going to, let me heat seal this. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around the center because we don't need a knot. We're going to put our feathers in the center there. And again, I'm getting excited with the holidays coming up. You know, hopefully I'll have some time to do some cool videos. Nothing beats the Grinch bow from last year, I think, though. Loved that one. Okay, so I'll put my hardware on in just a second. Basically with this, all I do, one thing I do want to show you though, if you have, and I think I've done this before, I have this clip right here. You can use anything similar to curl. You don't want to pull real hard. You know, you just grab the little ends there and curl them like you would gift ribbon. That, you know, when you curl the gift ribbon. Okay, a back of a butter knife would do, you know, just something like that. Okay, and really all I do here is, you know, put a generous amount of glue in the center and just find how you want to sit it. And this this ostrich puff, these, you know, these are just gorgeous. And I know I've in other videos shown you how to make these. I mean, it's really simple. You just cut to measure. You know, you just cut a piece off and then you just glue the two ends together. Okay, I mean, I have, you know, in all of my over-the-top videos and whatever, I use those. So, I mean, look at how precious that is. I just love the ostrich feathers and the curls and how pretty they look. Okay, well, that about does it. I just, you know, kind of wanted to do some simple yet dressy, you know, with the holidays coming up. Sometimes just to dress up a simple bow really can make the outfit that much cuter. Okay, so let me know what y'all think, and I'm going to try to go on and get a couple of fall bow videos done. So I'll see you next time.